guys, welcome back to the channel and another episode on the Land Rover. So from the last episode, as you know, I bought the military bonnet with the spare wheel carrier, obviously fitted now. A few dents and bashes in it. It was a little bit bent on the back right hand side. I tried to straighten it out a little bit. It worked to a certain extent, but yeah, it's still a little bit high on that side. I don't know if you can see it from the camera angle, but it sits a little bit high, a few mil too high, but it doesn't bother me. Well, it does, but I'm not going to do anything about it because it's too much work. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take the bonnet off and I'm going to rub it down and see how far I get, but obviously rubbing it down so that I can repaint it in the marine blue. I've still got some of the marine blue which I had left over from the restoration. I didn't end up using that much really. I used 2 cans of the sandstone on the wheels and also on the safari roof. But the blue I've got quite a lot left over. I only ever did the door tops and yeah, the rear floor. So I've got quite a bit left over. So I've got lots of extra primer as well. I think that's it. Yeah, I've got a few cans of this, so I'm going to rub it down and give it a couple of coats of etch primer, and then eventually see how we get on. Put the marine blue on it. So I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so bonnet is off, didn't take too long. I also took the spare wheel holder off as well. In fact, I don't know if you can see that there, but it's got a crack there, which I think somebody's tried to weld before, but pretty unsuccessfully, so it flexes quite badly. It's a very thin piece of metal, actually. So I'm going to have to weld that again. I've got a welder here. It's an arc welder, so it's a bit of a beast, but it'll do for that. So that means I can weld that and get that cleaned up and painted. But you can see, I think I've said it before, and those of you who know the military vehicles, the paint is mega thick, and I think they just slap it on once it needs redoing. But you can see this. It's really rough. And here's my lovely dent at the top, which is a right pain in the arse because there's no way of getting to it other than either drilling a hefty hole in here to be able to push it out, which is an option because it doesn't really bother me if there's a hole in here. Obviously I prefer there not to be a hole, but if that's the way to get that dent out, then so be it. Or of course you take the skin off and replace it or repair it that way. But yeah, I don't know. I might even leave the dent in there. I'm not sure. I don't think it's worth. It's not a concourse vehicle by any means, so I mean underneath it's pretty good, but the outside is far from concourse. As you can see, these huge scratches and dents. So that won't really make much of a difference. I've got to take these off. The rubber bungs, I think. Yeah, look, I'll put some WD-40 on there and get those off. They should be fine. And then I'll be able to take these little brackets off here, and then we can start sanding it down. Okay guys, so I've just got all of the fixtures and fittings off. It actually took quite a bit of time, so I didn't really bother filming that. But yeah, I got all the hinges off and stuff. So that is pretty much ready to sand down. The only thing that I was trying to do, I was still looking at the bend that I said it has in it. Essentially, that side of it, the bottom side, it curves down nicely on the left-hand side of it looking from the front, but on this side here, there's a you can actually see it here. This metal frame has been bent. There's a little ripple there, so that sort of pushes up. And I've got to try and bend that down a bit, but it's not that easy. I think what I'm going to do is maybe get a jack underneath the car between that, a block of wood, and then just lightly bring that back down again. Heat this up first and see what I can do, because now I've taken those bolts out, you can actually feel, I can feel the ripple there. So this part has bent up like that. So let's see if we can get that out. Okay, so just a little update on the preparation of this bonnet. It's to be honest, it's a real pain in the arse. That black paint, which is sort of on either side, is really thick. It's like pitch. Maybe it is pitch, I don't know. But I'm just getting through so many of these fittings for the angle grinder. It's insane. I think maybe what would have been a better idea, and still might be from here on in, is to use a paint remover. Just sort of paint it on and then scrape the paint off. I've never used paint remover before, but I know it works, so maybe that's the best thing, because yeah, I mean, I've been at it for a while now, and it's not even a quarter done. Obviously, even when I've got it this far, I've still got to sandpaper it down, so it's a lot of work. So we'll see. I'll either carry on for a little bit, or I will get some paint stripper. Okay, so just a quick update. I've been working on this dent in the front here, and what I did is made a hole here which I need to sort of even up and straighten out when I'm finished. But it means I can get sort of like a lever behind it, and it's not brilliant, that's for sure, but it's definitely taken the dent out, and I'll be able to put some filler in there now, I think. Just a very light film. I could actually leave it as it is, but there are some sort of like hammer marks where I've just used spanners and completely unprofessional tools to try and get the dent out. But as you can see, it's not bad. It's a lot better than it was anyway. Okay, so I've just put that filler on there. You can see that patch there. Obviously the patch is far bigger than the small dents left over, but I wanted to get good coverage, so I'm going to let that dry. And I think I'm probably going to leave this like this. Getting it all back to bare metal is just far too much work, and I don't know if it's really necessary. I've already wet sanded this, so it's pretty smooth actually. I mean, in fact, it's very smooth, but I mean, the professional painters amongst you who are watching this, or who or maybe aren't watching this, you know, they'll probably say no, that's not good enough, obviously, and they're probably right. But I think it's going to be all right for me, because I'm just not going for a professional finish. I mean, it'd be nice to, but you know, it's so much time, and I think it'll be all right. And considering the rest of the car isn't in excellent condition, the bonnet, you know, it can be the same, but I don't think it's going to be too bad, because it's quite smooth. And I'm going to do some primer, and then I'll sand the primer down, and we'll see. And then I'll do a couple of top coats, and if it doesn't look good, then I'll sand the top coat. But yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it today, and either come back tomorrow or next weekend. So I'll see you then.